Hello, this is Rob here from robcoven.com, and I'm going to show you how to extend the edges of a photo in Photoshop. So we have a photo here. This is a high resolution photo, and we're going to pretend we're making a Christmas card. And our Christmas card is in this landscape format. And I'm not going to talk about typography in this video, but here is our type. I'm going to paste it in now, Command or Control V, and I'm going to choose Smart Object and press OK. And immediately we see the type. It's come in as a vector smart object. It also has a box which we can use to resize. We can also hit return and that loses the box, but we can do Command or Control T for free transform, or we can go edit, free transform there. But in a later video I will get onto what a vector smart object is and why we should use one in this particular case. However, for the moment I'm going to go Command or Control T, and I want to get this Merry Christmas to be as large as possible on this Christmas card. But as you can see, that's not very nice because it's black. Obviously we changed the colour of the type here, but it's going over this apple there, and if we pull it down there, it's going over the apple at the bottom. So I'm going to get rid of that layer, or I'm actually going to make it invisible in the layers palette. So I'll click on the eye and get rid of it, and then I will click on the background so we're using the background. Now notice there's a lock against the background there. We'll be coming back to that later. So in order to fit this Merry Christmas in, we're going to have to extend the top and the bottom of the image. So how do we do that? Now, the way we do that is to go to canvas size, but I'm just going to explain image size. That's, as you can see, Command Option I or Control Alt I. And there is your image size. And this tells us the size of the actual image in pixels, centimeters, or inches. So you can see it. It's nearly 18 inches wide by 12 inches tall, and it's a resolution of 300. That is a huge, great image, and that would be easily enough to print out the card at letter size, let alone half letter size, which would be the usual size of a Christmas card. So we're definitely okay for using this as a Christmas card. But you can change the sizes here. We could make it smaller and make it 10 inches wide. That would make the height proportionally smaller as well, as we have this constrained proportions box ticked. I'll Command Z now, undo that. We're back to the original size. If you uncheck the constrained proportions box, you can then change a width or a height, and the other one won't change proportionally, and you'll get a funny skewed anamorphic image there. So I'll Command Z that. What we need to do in order to extend the top, the bottom, the left, the right, or whatever, we have to use canvas size, not image size. And canvas size is Command or Control Option C, and here you can have the size in pixels, centimeters, or inches, or whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. The point is, as you can see here, you can extend either the width or the height, and the other one won't change. So let's extend the width to 7,000 to make it a little bit wider. And you'll notice the height didn't change in proportion, and that's what we want. It also says something here, canvas extension color, white. So we'll click OK on that. Immediately you'll see that the image has got bigger, the Photoshop document has got bigger, but the image stays the same. So we now have space to create more background to the image on the left and the right. I'll just Command Z that, undo that, and we can go back to canvas size and say we want to increase the height to 5,000 pixels. And you notice I've moved this box around to the bottom and click OK, and then you can see that it adds the extra space to the top. That's because I put that box down to the bottom. But it's a bit unwieldy that it's giving us this white and the image is still a bit difficult to work on because we can't drag this around because the layer is locked. So what are we going to do about that? Well, it goes back in the layers palette to the lock icon on the background, and that is default for all images once they're opened in Photoshop, and it locks the background. And for our purposes today, we'll be better off unlocking that. So we're going to double click and press OK, and that has unlocked the background. We are now free to move it around. There is this grey and white grid at the bottom. That is Photoshop's default background that signals transparency. Therefore, it is nothing. This grey and white checkered background is if it came into another application such as InDesign or Illustrator, it would be invisible. So it's an easier way of working with this when we are adding information to the edges of the image, as we are in this case. So I'm going to go back to canvas size, and I'm going to put space all around. I'm going to make the width 6,300 and the height I'm going to make 4,200. So I'm adding like 20%, maybe a bit less on the top, the bottom, the left and the right. So we'll OK that. And as you can see, maybe 10% on the top, the bottom, the left and the right. And this is so we can add our logo comfortably to the top of the image. And you'll find in designs that you'll be doing this again and again and again, because images are just never the right size. You always want to add text to an image, and you always want the text to be bigger than the image will allow you. So in graphic design, I've probably had less hot dinners than I've extended images like this. So it's quite an important process, and I'm going to show you how to do it in the next video.